All right, can everyone hear me? Yeah, okay, great. All right, so today we're talking about the SHUR project, Synergy Hub Universal Residencies. And this is an unmarketed project. It has no marketing and it has no investors. We've just been reaching out to our network. We've just been reaching out to our trusted allies and those who we would want to move forward, live with. And we're sort of self-organizing to come together and co-create this venture. And today we're not talking about, so first, my name is Josh Pasmore, and I spent my first years as a land developer, and I acquired $3 million worth of property my first year, of which 13 properties were doubling yearly. And later I was invited to the Minister of Sustainability in Costa Rica, where I was at her high-rise apartment, and we landed and were approved to build a project called Green Earth City. It's a sustainably planned, conscious city, an eco-city in Costa Rica. And that leads us to today, to this project called SHUR, Synergy Hub Universal Residencies, which is based on whole systems design, similar to city design. And so today we're not talking about building a high-rise or a casino or a commercial venture even. What we're talking about really building together is a legacy. What we're building today is an interconnected worldwide network of living centers. What we're able to do now is step out of the old paradigm and into a new paradigm. And we're giving ourselves the space, time, tools, and resources to reinvent why we're here on this planet. These are things that are not being done right now, and to focus on solutions for humanity. Some other benefits of this project is synergistic matching that matches us to the right people, places, spaces, and events. And what this does is it brings us out of the lifestyle of distraction, which the world is currently experiencing distraction at a high rate. It's one of the biggest problems in our world, and into synergy and flow and focus, which is something that I'm highly ready to step out of and step into. We also have many beautiful locations, so this prevents stagnation. There's a book by Diane Leaf Christensen. It's The Bible of Community Building, Creating a Life Together. And it talks about how communities stagnate, and not just stagnating energetically, but also there's so many more benefits to being able to move around, yet stay connected to our family and to those who we want to move forward with. Sharing education and so on and so forth. Another thing that we're including is open access to everything you need within walking distance. So we're not just purchasing a home, we're purchasing a complete life. It's like being in an all-inclusive center, living center. And we have collective agreements, not laws or hierarchy. We also have many curated environments that allows us to innovate and create shared projects with our allies, leaving us feeling inspired, fulfilled, connected, and empowered. And then on top of that, last but not least, we have a safe, inclusive environment for our kids. So who is SHUR for? SHUR is for people building that want to step in and co-create and build a better world, a world that we all want to be a part of. Our theme is investing in a world legacy while building a safe haven for ourselves. We give plenty of money to members while allowing them to be a part of an amazing story. These projects are built on something, there's also something special about them. They're built on something called whole systems design from the city design work that we've been doing. And so what this is, currently, the term whole systems design was not introduced into society till this century, the century we're just now stepping into. In 334 BC, before Christ, we were implemented and force-fed a system that was by Alexander the Great, where he created a system of society for everyone to, once they conquered a territory, they would contain people in something called civitas law, or how to conquer and control a conquered people, how to control a conquered people. And that's the system that has proliferated throughout the world and that we're living in today. And so now we're having to rethink why we're here and how do we get out of this mess. And so this is one of those solutions. It's a solution that allows us to step into a new environment right now. So what is whole systems design? Whole systems design looks at the human body and how nature builds its systems. We use biomimicry in our networks, our villages, our currencies, our cities, everything we do. We're looking at how nature builds its systems. As we understand the importance of nature, we want to protect and not destroy the lands and people that we work with. We're doing things the right way. We don't cut corners. We're not doing things unethically or compromising our values. We hate the idea of a world that works for a few, but doesn't work for all the rest, many, many, many more. We want people to be living their purpose and their passion. This is what we're standing for. We believe humanity is a living organism and that our survival as a species depends on us taking care of ourselves, our ecosystems, and each other. So as you're inviting others to a project like this, we encourage you to remember that we're inviting people who are not only aligned energetically to what we're doing, but also are aligned with our values, that will do things morally. We don't want to invite people in on the core level that are doing things immorally. Soon enough, we hope that our systems, well, we know that our systems will take care of this. When you have a system that replaces the ability for people to steal from each other, then you've solved that problem of having to trust someone's integrity around, let's just say, money. And inviting people like this in will make difficult decisions for everyone, because we're going to be in a project like this based on whole systems. We're looking at what's best for everyone. While they're going to be looking at how everyone can survive and thrive, while they'll be looking at what they can extract from everyone for their own bank account and for their own selves, whatever that may look like. So we're okay with the idea that this project is not a fit for everyone at this moment. We built the core aspects of this over the last year and a half. I did have a friend who I was working with, and he was inviting me to Bali. He had created this project, and he had a heart attack. Basically, after he was funded and going, and so I am completing his legacy through this project. And the last year and a half, I've put together with his widow, re-put back the project, fixed it up in some ways. And the last month and a half, actually 2 months, we've gone from Bali, where we've researched the land and the prices and the people and situations, to Brazil. And we're here in Mexico, where we plan to start and build the first center. We do have offers in Costa Rica, where we will potentially do some land trades. Actually, one of the guys is here on the call. That's a potential, but we have another options in Costa Rica. But right now we're looking at Mexico to start, but we're not solid on it yet. We do have 8 spots this first year available, of which 2 have been taken. There is a matching algorithm, so people will be matched. We want to have the right people moving forward. That's more important than anything else. And so we still have 6 spots available. And we have about 2 weeks that we can build our early adopter team. And what I'll do is I'll show you what that looks like. I'll share screen. Excuse me. Let me lower this. Tell me if you guys can see the screen. Somebody, you'll have to unmute. Actually, okay. All right. So here's some additional information. I can pass you guys this pamphlet. So as an early adopter, normally, if you've looked at our site, some of you guys may have looked at the site, some of you may have not. Normally, it's a full residency is what we're trying to get people. We want to get people moving forward, stepping out of the old paradigm into the new. However, right now, I know this isn't much, but it will help a little bit right now. This, for an all-inclusive retreat center compared to other offers, is crazy, ridiculous, but we're offering our early adopters the chance to jump in and get a month out of the year, either a one-bedroom or a studio. So it's pretty simple. It's right there. You can read it later. On the left, you've probably already read what the advantages of coming in early are. Being able to buy a smaller fraction is one of the advantages. If you're near the centers, if you are renting nearby, you can participate in as if you were there, because you have access as a full member. So all the events and stuff, those aren't cut off to people that are in the network. They will be. Early adopters are the ones that will have that access. Also, the one that does put in the most will get a special benefit of the early adopters. And only residents will be able to make decisions. Obviously, they're driving their own. This is something we're doing together. Early adopters will be able to also have access to these features. That doesn't mean that you don't have to go through the training, get the license to fly the plane. Okay, so these are our proposed centers. And the big ones are the first ones we're looking at. We're looking at Bali, Brazil, Costa Rica, and Mexico. All right, and then this year, just one center. Next year, 3 more. 9 and 27. So each of those will have around 8 available spots. So if you say times 3, 24 next year, we'll have 24 available. Community team is those that are coming in to help steward the projects unfold. It says right there. So we'll have a team of 8. They'll learn the ins and outs. They'll train for 4 months, set up the centers, and split into teams of 3, 2, 4, 6, 8. There were 4 teams. 2 will stay behind, and the other 3 will go forward and create and rebuild their team to 8. And our hope is that by the end of that, let me get back to this. Our hope is that by the end of our 6 months training together and everyone setting up these other centers, that we will be able to be fully coherent and be all on the same page and be able to do 9 more centers and then 27. But if it's not coherent and we're not, it's like a band playing, we need to really be playing the same tune together. If it turns out that that's not the case, we will slow down. We will slow down until we gain coherency. So we don't want to grow faster than we are coherent. All right, that's the full scope, breadth of the understanding of this project for you guys that haven't heard it. I'm leaving. I got about 10, 15 minutes. We can do any questions you guys have, and it's open for early adopters, for you guys, or for anyone you know for the next 2 weeks. we have enough to start. We built our core team in the last, and we've got enough funding to go already. We just want to build more centers and gather our team. That way, when our team, when we get to the center built, we want more grassroots marketing. We don't really want to market this. If we have to, we will, but we would like to keep it grassroots. That's it. Any questions?
Only option to have 1 month?
Yes, right now there's an option for 1 month for the next 2 weeks. And you could just sign up. It doesn't have to be like, immediate in the next 2 weeks, but for 2 weeks, we're opening to early adopters coming in, seeing how that looks to work together, yeah.
Yes, Josh, could you please explain the business model, kind of the larger context on the financing and business side, like who owns this and how does it start? I feel like I'm coming in midstream here, kind of understanding the sales model, but I'm just wondering what's the context?
Yeah, so you did say sales. We are doing this together.
Yes.
This is a. I hope that I came out here, doing all this work to put this together for us. The model is that there are no owners. There is no percent going to anyone. I will be getting a paycheck. Anyone else that works will be getting a paycheck. But the community team will be working for time. So they'll be working for basic needs and time within the network. We want to get everyone in the network, and even if they don't have the money to do it. We have loan programs. We've funded this self-funded through loans and through people that believe in it that are coming in, and we're building the centers, and we're trying to put them as best we can into sovereign models. So things that in the future will be, if you put it into a cryptocurrency or you put it into a multi-stakeholder or any of these things, it's really subject to trying to change, and to put it into a sovereign model makes it very difficult. So our decisions are made at the community level, and the land assets are held in a trust that will never be able to be sold or taken advantage by anyone. It's there for access forever for everyone. And hopefully that explains it to you. We do have self-organized models that we've ran and tested and road tested, and they've worked super, super successful compared to most of the self-organized models out there today. The DAO scene is new, it's clunky. We have a very high coherency on our self-organized models. So we're giving the tools for people to be able to organize their own funding pools. There's a lot of stuff that's not said in the pamphlets, such as the fact that we do have a rental pool, half built, half sales, half rental, and that rental pool is basically an economy that's being built for everyone, so that they can self-manage and have something. We're not supporting people, but we do have the ability to improve everything, have an economy that we can self-drive and govern.
Thank you.
For the design of the first center, is the actual design already ready, or that's what the people will come together to build, as far as all of the moving parts of the inside, physically, architecture, and all of that?
Yeah, I've done a lot of the work myself as being a builder and a land developer. However, we're still open in that area. We have the general design blueprints that are listed in the pamphlets, and we want to make it very multifunctional use. So our first building will be one home as an example home. Can you hear me? Okay. I think I paused for a second. One will be one example home, and then after that we're going to make one of the community spaces, which will be basically, will second as the community team comes in. learn stuff. We will be able to have that as a multi-living space for the next 6 months for the community team while it's being built to do their retreats and stuff out of and live out of. And then we will be designing, it's still open, but we have the general look and feel. Yeah. Oh, Janet.
Oh, are you done, Savannah?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, every time I try to talk, it makes it real hard to hear you. You have to come back in every time. Um, yeah, so if you wanted a whole year, you would just basically pay whatever that is times 12.
Yeah, I could share with you the exact pricing. Have you seen it on the site, Janet? On the pamphlet?
Can you ask again? It's kind of hard to hear you. Sorry.
Have you seen, it's actually a little bit of a discount. Include not only the fact that it's being able to be fractionalized, but the month is a little bit of a discount. Yes, you could times it times 12. I think you might end up a little under what the current cost is, which is fine if you wanted to do that, yeah, for the full home. Does that answer? Or
Yeah,
did you
thank
want? Okay, Patrick.
I wanted to ask if there's some way together to meet and learn more about the details of some of the decision-making processes, for example, or some of the governance models, and a lot of other things, even how to build, sort of like tapping your toe into the water, basically speaking, like a 1 week gathering or 1 month gathering, also to maybe volunteer and help building stuff and workshop type things for wider circles who may not be able to commit for a whole year or half a year, or who can't yet, who need some more time to grow into this. Some kind of on-site gatherings this year or next year or so. Do you have some perspective on this?
Yeah. I think once we get our initial processes up and going and our initial team, the very first one, and then the next ones create theirs, there will be room, probably like what you said, to be more open. These tools will be offered basically immediately to the first group, meaning if other people, we can hold events at the first center, because these tools are first in line in being able to be shared with the community, the members, as well as obviously the community team will be learning them right away. It will be their job to share these tools, and there can be events for the public for sure. Yeah, and in fact, that'll be better than just teaching a couple people. But in the beginning, we won't be able to do both at once. So at the beginning, we will just be able to take care of ourselves. Once we're taken care of, we can take care of others.
And can this also happen in private homes or already existing projects where people can host interested people for either webinar or maybe you going somewhere on tour or other people of the community? Or is it just really more Mexico centric? For example, here in Switzerland, there's a bigger house, or somewhere you mentioned Norway, or Bali and so on, like where, or Ibiza, people going at certain times to a villa or something like that. Like fractional model of that, basically speaking, for temporary time somewhere to seed those communities worldwide.
There's been a lot of requests for people to take the model and replicate it in other places, but the coherency that we spoke of with like the band playing, that you won't get that unless you take the time to get everything done right. And we have 20 years of whole systems design in this. We probably won't be able to focus on as a core team. However, there's the members that are joining in and learning able to do anything they want. Our tools literally help them put their businesses together and create ecosystems. So this is an option. People don't have to. They can do whatever they want. They can come in, travel around, that's it. No problem. But we give people those tools and abilities. If they choose to do that, they could easily, me and Steven, well, Steven's on the call here. I'm glad you're on the call because I have an example, like when you start to actually realize that you're doing it together and people start pitching in, like, you know, oh, I got a couch and the furniture. If it was someone else's hotel, I would never buy a couch and put it in their hotel. But when I know that it's our centers and my thing, and I put that in, someone else puts a pool table in, me and Steven started to create a self-organized model in Austin, and we started to talk to landowners because we were all doing it together and they felt that. Everyone was offering us land left and right. And it makes a big difference energetically when you start to do things together. So Patrick, to answer that, I think that once that starts happening, that critical shift in energy, yeah, all those things are possible.
Thanks, Joe. Makes sense to me. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, I didn't give you my contact. So 2 weeks, we have 2 weeks. And if anybody is interested that some of you know me, some of you can get a hold of me, some of you can't. So I have a pamphlet. I have everyone's email. What I'll do is I'll email you the pamphlet that I showed you. And I'll throw my email on there so that you can contact me. And if you would like, I have a recording that is similar to this. I don't know if this recording will turn out as good, but I can potentially hold another call if you have friends that you didn't think of that you want to bring in. And I see that I'm missing some people that I really was hoping would show up, but it's okay. So yeah, yeah, any more questions or 30 minutes? Good time? Good wrap up time, nice and quick. You're
actually,
muted.
I do have quite a few questions.
Okay.
But I think I want to save them for later. But what I was going to propose is that we can record my questions, and I don't know if you still use Mighty Network, so I have a Mighty Network, or we can put a drive somewhere for FAQ questions that people can then reference later, so that they can hear my questions being answered and other people's questions being answered. And that way they also get a feel for who else might be involved, kind of thing. So that's my contribution for this call.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Great presentation. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I was a little thrown off in the very beginning, but
Turned out fine.
cool. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.